plenty to go over today. We've got a little bit of designer, a little bit of vintage, a little bit of everything, and some really dope brands in this one. So hope you guys have some time to stick around and kick it with me for a little bit. I did want to start the year off slowing down on the footwear. I can get a little out of hand sometimes, but I did end up picking up a pair of boots. Been on the hunt for this pair of boots for quite some time, and because of the price point, I kind of wanted to wait till I was able to try them on in person. Of course, that never happened since they're not in stock in any of the stores nearby, so I ended up purchasing these on Grailed. Our Legacy Cami-On boot. This is actually the Cami-On Slim. They came out with a couple different colorways of these. Our Legacy, of course, has their standard version of the Cami-On. They have the Slim, and then they have one other model that's not called the Cami-On, but is super similar. Also has a zipper detail on those as well. I wanted this Slim pair specifically because of the brown colorway. I just think the brown on this one's perfect. As far as sizing on these, I found they fit pretty true to size. That said, I would recommend going true to size. If you're in between sizes, I would recommend going down to the closest size. I think there's enough room in the toe box for you to be able to get away with that and still have a snug, comfortable fit. Really love the shape. I think the shape is probably the best part about these boots and a large reason why these are just so popular and have been over the last few years. As far as retail goes, these are pretty steep, but I find that you can find these secondhand on Grailed or eBay for pretty decent pricing, especially for the quality. So highly recommend. It's just a really flattering classic kind of silhouette. So I don't see these going out of style anytime soon. The trend cycle might move on to hype up other boots, but I think this model specifically can have a lot of longevity in your wardrobe still. I did purchase mine secondhand, but these were only worn a few times, and honestly, the leather is super soft, very buttery. So I imagine that there's basically no break-in time required at all for these. Easily the most comfortable pair of boots that I've ever tried in my entire life. So next up we have bottoms and pants. If you followed the channel for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of Uniqlo U in general. This season, I only had a couple of pieces that I was interested in. The first one was this women's kind of cocoon jacket. Unfortunately, did not get my hands on that. The other pieces that I was interested in were these Uniqlo U cargo pants. Ended up picking up 3 pairs, an olive pair, black pair, and navy. Love the fit on these. I ended up ordering a size large and an XL just to kind of see, and honestly, with the stretch and give of the waistband, both sizes really fit. So you could go true to size, you could size up on these, really doesn't matter. At this price point, would highly recommend these if you haven't tried them out. I just think the material choice and the cut of these was spot on. And that's ultimately what sets these pieces from Uniqlo U line apart from your average regular general release item from Uniqlo. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And just for sizing reference, I'm 6 foot, fluctuate between 185 to 190 pounds for reference. So lastly, for bottoms, I ended up purchasing 3 pairs of black jeans from Essence. Plan was to try on all 3 and just keep the best out of the 3. I've been really wanting to add a pair of black slim jeans back into my rotation just to add a bit more versatility back into the wardrobe. The 3 pairs I picked up, one was from Nudie. I remember when Nudie, APC, and like Acne Max Cash was like the only pairs of denim that people actually even cared about. The second pair is from a brand called Han Copenhagen. Obviously not an English name. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. The last pair is from Redone. Unfortunately, I cannot compare all 3 because for whatever reason, the Redone pair has not shipped yet. So we're going to be looking at the Nudie pair and the Han Copenhagen pair. The Nudie pair is $165 on Essence right now. This is the Black Steady Eddie 2 jeans, slim fit, non-stretch, tapered pair of jeans. These are around 11 ounces, so it's a soft and comfortable type of denim. A really straightforward pair of jeans. Fit on these is pretty nice. I'd say the inseam on my pair is around like 31 inches or so, and they claim on the tags that these won't fade quite as much as other black denim will, so it's a huge plus if you're looking for like that jet black pair of denim. The second pair from Han Copenhagen, they didn't list the ounces on these ones. Obviously another slim non-stretch taper. The weight's probably similar on these. The inseam is definitely a bit longer on these, so you actually get a nice stacking effect kind of what people were trying to achieve in like 2014. Really love the way these fit. So I think these are the pair that I'm going to end up keeping. And these are actually on sale for $106 on Essence right now. So cheaper than the nudie pair. And I love the fit on these. The only gripe I have, the pockets are a little bit small. Just a really simple pair of black denim. Not too much to talk about. Next up, as you can see, we have t-shirts. I have quite a few t-shirts that I picked up, and I've actually been more picky than ever when it comes to graphic tees. But for some reason, I've just really been loving the graphic tees that Union LA has been putting out. Everything from the cut to the texture of the tee, and then obviously the really simple but well-designed graphics that they've been putting on these tees. I'll have some B-roll of each one so you guys can see all the little details. These are a little bit pricey, but I really think the design and the quality on these is there, and you'll catch me wearing these in outfits pretty much all spring and summer. So highly recommend trying one of these out if you see something you like. All right, next we have a 7-cut flannel. This one, of course, is from Needles. You'll see it's pretty dark. Most of these 7-cut flannels from Needles are really kind of colorful, and they have different flannel colors and patterns that you can see just kind of mashed up into one shirt. This one specifically was like over dyed in black. They did this at the factory. I didn't do that myself. I was really excited to pick one of these up. I've never owned a 7-cut flannel from Needles before. Unfortunately, this one sizing wise just didn't work out for me. I'm not sure if this is just a Japanese sizing thing. Japanese sizing is traditionally at least one size down from what's tagged. This is an extra large, and to be honest, this fits more like a medium on me. So unfortunately, this one did not work out for me. Honestly, if you usually wear like a men's small or a medium, that could be perfect for someone. But for me, I like my flannels to be cut a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more wide in the body. So still wanted to show this one to you guys. I think it's a dope piece, even though it doesn't work for me. And it's just a reminder that, look, when you shop online, not every piece is going to hit. You're going to have some fails. That's okay. And I encourage you to absolutely return those to the retailer as soon as possible. Don't even second guess it. Just return it, get your money back, and put that towards something else that you'll love. Ended up picking that shirt up from Canoe Club. Shout out to them. And if you're not following their channel on YouTube, definitely give them a follow. They have a podcast, unboxings, try-ons, putting together fits. Like, honestly, the team at Canoe Club is killing it with the content. Tons of dope stuff, and the brands that they carry are some of the best in my opinion. Next, I've got a few vintage pickups that I want to go over. I've been picking up a lot more vintage items on eBay and Grailed specifically, especially when it comes to button-up shirts. Been really interested in 2 brands specifically. The first being J. Crew. Good old J. Crew. Yes, J. Crew. The second being LL Bean. I'm always looking to add casual button-up shirts into the wardrobe. Love what Acne Studios and Our Legacy are doing. The really oversized, relaxed cut button downs. Of course, the pricing for their quality is actually pretty decent, but what I find is they're really just replicating the old traditional menswear cut of button up. It's nothing special. This is what grown men have been wearing for like the last 30, 40 plus years. So you really don't have to spend a ton of money to get a really nice oversized button up, especially if you go the vintage route like I did. Again, I recommend LL Bean and J. Crew specifically. There's also other brands like Woolrich. I would stick to the more heritage type brands if that makes sense. And then of course you want them to actually be vintage, nothing from like the last 10 years or so, because the cuts of shirt have gotten way slimmer over time. These are very relaxed, give that oversized look that's kind of modern or trendy right now, if you will. Got these both for like $20 or less shipped. So when you compare that with the price of Our Legacy, where you're probably paying around $200 for a shirt like this, you can really start to see how much of a good value these shirts are. Oftentimes you can find shirts like this that are either brand new or could pass as brand new. Those are the ones that I would stick to. There's plenty out there that might have rips or stains. Just completely stay away from those. Just take your time, really look through the descriptions of the items. And then also I would recommend starting with extra large and double XL. I wouldn't go any smaller than that if you're trying to get this oversized, relaxed fit that I have. Obviously, looking at the measurements, if they're provided, or asking the seller to provide them, is going going to give you the best results. Just as a general rule of thumb on what I'm looking for as far as like a pit to pit chest measurement, somewhere around 26 to 27 inches from pit to pit at the smallest. Just because these are so cheap does not mean you don't need to be picky. Definitely take your time finding the right patterns, cuts, and measurements. And if you do that, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Lastly, we have jackets. This is from Rag & Bone. I believe this is called the Ethan Ripstop down jacket. A lot of times with winter jackets, I'll just end up getting something plain and boring like black. And I really wanted to kind of switch it up for this one. Tons of great small little details on this jacket. Hidden ribbing sleeves, which makes this really comfortable and also keeps out the cold from entering into the sleeve. You also have adjustable cords at the bottom. So technically you could tighten the bottom, give this more of like a cropped, scrunched kind of look if you wanted to. Also helps keeping the cold from getting in and underneath the jacket. This is a zip up jacket, but it also has buttons as well. Love the way this looks zipped all the way up and open. Collar on this one is more of like a stand collar, which I think is a really nice look for this jacket. And I think my favorite part about this jacket is the fact that it's really warm, super lightweight, and even though it's a puffer jacket, it doesn't give you this round, puffy, bulky look that most puffer jackets do. Ended up finding this discounted on, I believe, the Outnet for a really good price. This is probably from a few seasons ago, so might be difficult to find. Next up, we have a black zip cardigan. This is from the brand And Wander. I've been looking to pick up a piece from And Wander for over a year now. Was just kind of waiting, being patient, found a piece that would be versatile and fit into my wardrobe really easily, and I'm really in love with this piece. I've been looking for a fleece jacket for a long time now. Just a really clean, relaxed kind of silhouette. Some really cool details on here as well. You've got this mixed pocket where it's kind of like a nylon flap, then a carabiner attached to a hole that's stitched in here. Put your keys or something on here. Make sure it doesn't get lost while you're out and about. Really smooth zippers on this one as well. And then at the bottom here, you've got some zippered pockets as well. So anything you put into the pockets is definitely going to be secure on this piece. Love the way this fits and feels on body. The fleece is like really trim. It's not like super fluffy like some other fleeces are, which kind of gives it a more elevated look. Again, this is an extra large and this brand is based out of Japan. So I had to get an extra large to make sure it was relaxed and roomy on me. I'd highly recommend sizing up in general for all the pieces in this brand. They fit a little bit smaller maybe than the traditional US sizing. All right, last but not least, we have this gorgeous piece by Capital. This is the Indigo Gauze Kaya first jacket, I believe. Basically a really lightweight shirt jacket in my opinion, in an indigo wash. Really beautiful textures on here. I'll try and get some close-ups so you guys can see the material. When I say this is lightweight, I mean really lightweight. Feels basically like you're wearing nothing. The fit on this one is very cropped, hits like right at the waist, and you have an adjuster on the back, so you can kind of cinch this in if you're looking for more of a tailored fit as well. Then you have this contrasting material on the collar as well as the cuffs and the chest pocket. So pretty sure that's where the gauze kind of comes in. If you think about like the texture of a gauze like medical wrap that you would put around a bandage or an ankle or something, it kind of has that texture, but not like exactly, if that makes sense. So really beautiful texture and a nice little contrast to break up the materials on the jacket. I picked this up from Canoe Club. This was really expensive at retail. So if you know Capital prices, that's no shocker, but I believe this was like $590, almost $600. And then I ended up getting it $185-ish shipped. So really good deal on this. The material is like so lightweight, you can almost kind of see through it if you hold it up to the sun. So perfect for spring and maybe even summer. You could get away with this, especially if you're not somewhere super hot like I am in Florida. Don't know why it took me so long to pick up a piece from Capital, but here we are. That wraps up all the pickups that were worth mentioning. Let me know in the comments below what was your favorite. Of course, more content like this to come. Thank you guys for kicking it with me. Know this was a long one, so until next time.